Hmm. Sorry, there was some technical issues. So let's start. Uh, we are in the limitation of interactive methods. So sometimes ago we understand the interactive methods, methods of interactive methods. Now we understand about the limitation of interactive methods. Okay, it is not suitable in all topics. It is likely to be dominated by a few students. It is likely to go off the track and it may lead the unpleasant feeling and it may create emotional tensions. Okay, now we turn on demonstration methods. Demonstration methods of teaching is a traditional classroom strategy used in technical and training colleges and in teacher educations. The strategy is applied mainly in teaching or training institutes. In teacher education program, it is used to develop skill in the students teacher at level at school level. A teacher apply it in teaching social sciences, biology, nature studies, arts and crafts. Now here the advantages of demonstration methods are flowing. It's help in involving various senses to make learning permanent. So teacher behavior is autocraft here. That means he or she invites the cooperating of pupils in teaching learning process. It develops interest in learners and motivates them for their active participations. It helps in achieving psychomotor objects and any simple or complex skills becomes easily to understand. Now, here are some disadvantages of demonstration methods. They are it can be used only for skill subjects. Only the attention of the learner is invited towards the activities demonstrated. They are not free to discuss about it. That means the learner are not free here to describe their self. They describe it. Due to poor economic conditions of the government schools, there is no scarcity of there is scarcity of audio visual aids and equipment, and the teachers are not so creative to produce handmade models for demonstrations, and there is general lack of sincerity and among teachers who used to complete the syllabus at the earlier without putting seniors effort. Now regional method. The regional method of teaching, especially for geography and social studies, it is advisable that the teachers should, as possible, start from their home regions. Now it's time to understand project method. Okay, what is project method? The project methods, like many other activities methods, activities matters. It is also modern contributions to educational theory and practice. It is a result of philosopher of educations, which is now it is being followed in the progressive school and all over the world. There are some features of the project methods. It is important for principle of purpose. That means a good project is always purposeful and has a clear cut goal. And principle of activities by nature, they love activity, the instinct, curiosity, and self-assertions make them active by the nature. So opportunities should be provided to all the children to be active and do things for themselves. And principle of experience is the best educator. First hand experience is the best of learning in the project method. Now the next one is principle of freedom. There should be freedom at the all stage in a project. That means here students are freedom to do whatever he or she want. Now there are some kinds of project. They are producer type, consumer types, drill types, problem types, another classification, and a lots of project method we use in our teaching strategies. Now why it is initial for teaching method? Because it's give us usefulness, because it's usefulness, interesting, economical, timely, challenging, and rich in experience to for the students. So it is very essential for all students as well as teachers. Now merits of project method. There are some merits of project methods and basic low requires of the child mind to be ready for acquired knowledge. The planning, the discussion, and the selections of the project prepare the child's mind and participate in exclusing of the projects. And the law of exercise requires the child to practice what they have learned, and learning to be effective must be practiced. And it is also related to our life. That means we can say that the projects are related to everyday's needs and the experience of the child. Various subjects are taught to gain is real, practical, purposeful, and useful, leading to the opportunities to acquaint themselves with the real problem of the life, and they learn the practical usefulness of different subjects of the same curriculum. Now, storytelling method. Storytelling is very interesting method for students, and storytelling provides children with a window to new world. By nature, children are fond of stories. That means the most of children like stories, and children have genuine interest in listening to the story. So we make our teaching method perfect. We use the storytelling method. The subject history was, especially the subject history was originally presented in stories. There are lots of stories in the history, and it is felt that students, particularly at the early school early school stage, should be taught history through a series of stories. Stories can give them immense pleasure, it extends their imaginations and develop their creative power. There are mainly three types of stories: true stories, myths, and legends. At first, we have to know about what is true stories. That means the story based on real facts and figures are included in these categories. Such stories are interesting presentations of the actual event and activities of the great personalities. The stories are the source of history and contribute greatly to the teaching of the history. And myths. What is myth stories? These are purely imagination story. For example, when we use the storytelling methods, we have no historical basis. They are usually fairy tales and deal with supernatural elements. Since these stories are story. And now the last there are including true stories and myth. These stories have generate about is the advantage of storytelling method. So storytelling methods creates immense interest in the class, and it develops the power of imagination. It promotes the growth of people's creative talents through storytelling, designing, drawing pictures, making models, etc. And it includes visual in the young students, and it's help in understanding and remembering historical fact easily. Now, already has been now for the teachers, we already have been discussed success of this method largely depend upon the teacher, and the teacher must be a good storyteller and imaginative as well as a resourceful actor. He must be a knowledgeable person and with deep historical background as well as a keen sense of humor and sympathy. The teacher has applied remark storytelling is and storytelling is an art, and probably a real storyteller like a poet is born, though unlike a poet he can also be made by effort. The history teachers and the social teacher here, not only the history or the social teacher, but all the teacher in charge of little children should try by all possible effort to become a good storyteller. Now, in the conclusions, it may, however, not be understood the original method intends to minimize the importance of political divisions in geography. Each political divisions of our country should be regarded as a separate unit, and as such, it should be divided in nature, regions, or lesson important countries. This may be grouped together whenever possible for purpose. Thank you. I hope you got the whole content.